Do you want to learn some of my top tips and tricks for sewing this adorable, quick and easy, fully lined first aid kit with little pouches inside in an easy and simple way? Come on in and I'll share them with you. So let's get started. I have 3 really important tips that I want to share with you that everyone should think about when they're sewing a cute little pouch like this. And we'll go through them together in this video together. If you want my full complete list of 10 tips and tricks for the first aid kit pattern, you can grab those for free. That's a free download. You just got to click the link below, enter your email, and I'll send that over to you right away. If you want the pattern, you can grab the pattern from the Sew a Story website. It's an easy PDF download as well. You can also get it from your favorite local quilt shop as a paper pattern, or you can get this pattern along with the second pattern. So 2 patterns a month, all for the less than the cost of 1 pattern inside the Sew a Story Pattern Club. So you can grab it any of those ways. But first, let's talk about some of those tips and tricks. So I'm going to show you this pouch up nice and close. You can see that it has a cute little applique on there. It's got some accent colors all the way around the pouch. And the pouch has a double zipper here, but you can use a single zipper. And when you open it up, I just want to show you the inside is just as spectacular. So that is fully lined. All of the seams are enclosed. So you don't have little things that are caught in there or anything. And then I just made an accent fabric. I'm going to turn it inside out to show you the little pockets here. So there's pockets on this side and pockets on this side. So you can make this fully enclosed. You can make tons of these in multiple sizes and give them away for great little stocking stuffers and gifts. You can opt to have this little first aid on there or not. Of course, I had to take a picture of mine in the mountains because you should always have a first aid kit when you're hiking. So let's talk about some of the tips and tricks. So number 1 is precision in cutting. So you might think, I'm going to just put my fabric down and just cut on it. But I do have some really important tips and tricks to share with you for cutting fabric very precisely. So I will cut maybe 2 pieces together. I could cut like the front and the back, but I try not to cut too many more of those. Also, before I cut, I take the extra time and step to press my fabric. I even sometimes starch it. So if you really want to work on your precision, if you can give it a little bit of starch, like a best press. What else do I have there? Let me just grab it for you. Yes, it's called Magic. Hello. Sorry. It's called Magic. I use this a lot over at my ironing station, and it just gives a nice crisp fabric surface. Then I put it on a hard surface. I use the template on top. You can do it one of 2 ways. If you find that lifting up the fabric kind of shifts it too much, I would keep it flat, use your rotary cutter and your ruler alongside of it and give the straight cuts a nice straight cut. You can follow along carefully if you have steady hands around that paper template. If you don't, on the curves, I would just use a pair of scissors. But I really find that doing it, number 1, pressed fabric. Number 2 is using your some kind of a starch. And then number 3, cutting it on a hard surface is going to give you that accurate cutting. So then this is great because now when you go and sew it together or stabilize it with some of the other products, we'll talk about those in a minute, that it will really fit together as it should. So sometimes you feel like, how come this corner is off? Sometimes it's because you're stretching the fabric, and sometimes it's because it's how we cut the fabric. So number 1 tip and trick is precision in cutting. Number 2 is proper fusing techniques. So you think, there's a proper fusing technique. Well, absolutely there are. So when you're applying your heat and bond fusible fleece or anything else, I'm using this as my structure for this. So when you're using this product or anything similar, even if you're just quilting, you don't want to have one fabric or the other stretching it out. So I think maybe you heard it from me before, but you don't want to take your iron and push it along with the weight of the iron. Sort of gone are those days. We want to just like lower the iron down, let the heat expand, and then you lift it back up and do that again. I always, here's my tips and tricks, start from the center and methodically work my way out. So out to the center, out to the sides, out from the center, out from the diagonals, and then out to the back to the backwards here. And so that's going to avoid any of the puckering that might happen there. You know how sometimes you can get a fold. Here's a little inserted tip and trick for you. If you do get a little fold or you do get some kind of puckering that's happening, the beautiful thing about heat fused fleece or any other heat and bond product like that is that all you need to do is apply the heat again and it will gently lift. Now, each time you do that, it loses a little bit of that adhesion. But if you just keep that heat on there, and then you can lift it and reposition it. So you want to avoid trying to stretch your cotton or stretch the fleece for that matter. And you just want to heat set it together. Okay, so that's number 2. And number 3 is sewing that zipper accurately. So we want to make sure that we have that even seam allowance going both ways. You're going to sandwich your seam between 2 layers. Sometimes it's hard to sandwich that seam. You do one piece of fabric right side up, the zipper right side down, and then you do the backing fabric or the lining fabric right side down on there, and you're going to sew along that seam. Sometimes it can shift even if you pin it. So one way to avoid that is don't put the lining on yet. Just put the main fabric and your zipper right sides together, and at 1/8 of an inch, you just baste it along with your zipper foot. So just do a little basting and then it'll hold and adhere. Then you put your second layer or your lining fabric right sides together, and you can do your seam allowance at your 1/4 inch, making sure you're straight all the way through. Now, the zipper often gets in the way. So another tip and trick when you're sewing that zipper in is that I sew up along it until I get to the zipper. Then I leave my needle in the needle down position. If your machine doesn't do that automatically, you can rotate the wheel so that the needle goes into the seam and it holds it there. Then I just gently and carefully zip my zipper away from me, and then I lower it flat so that you don't have to work around that zipper. Sometimes it feels like, oh, I think I can just do it. I've done it lots. But you'll be so much happier after you're going through this work just to take that one little extra step. So keep your needle down, move the zipper pull out of the way, and then just finish it there. Come out and take the extra step to press and even top stitch if you want. You can line up your other side. So if anything shifted while you're doing that, I would measure out from both sides, and so that you can cut away, and there is your even space that you'll just treat just like any other piece. So that doesn't have to intimidate you any longer. Now it's set, so it's just the same as sewing on any other piece that you would. That's how fun and simple it is. I have a whole list of 10 of those. And like I said, it's an easy, free download. You just have to click the link below, and I'll give you my 10 tips and tricks for first aid pouch making. And if you aren't part of the club already, the Sew a Story Pattern Club, I'd love to have you join me. I'm just going to walk you through a couple of the things that I use for this pattern. So obviously I have the pattern, like I said, grabbing it from one of those locations. I have a zipper, and I'm using the Happy Zippers too, but I like them because they have 2 pulls on them here, and they come in lots of different colors. So I'm using that. I have my Fat Quarter bundle of It Takes a Village fabric. So all of these yummy prints, and there's lots of different colors to make, lots of different fun and also adult ones. You can make some for children and some for adults. In this collection, there's lots of great prints. The 2 heat and bond pieces that I'll need will be one that I said was the fusible fleece. So I am using fusible fleece. I'll link all of these below as well, and on the blog. And then one is this light sewable heat and bond, and that's just for creating this on your pouch. A couple other things, if you want to hand embroider this or you want to hand embroider around, there is an It Takes a Village or a floss box here. It has all of these great colors. I don't know if I can even pick them all up here that match the It Takes a Village collection. So you can grab that from your favorite local quilt shop or from any distributor online. And then you can match and stitch by hand any of the embellishments. And another fun thing to do is I have a curated collection of It Takes a Village sparkle paste. So this is a product that I created together with ThermoWeb, a heat and bond. And this product, you can paint it on in any way. So you can add some sparkle here if you want, or a few accents here. And then you just put a pressing paper on top and heat set it. And you have sparkle forever, even if you wash it away. So lots of fun. That's some of the products that I like to use. And I do feel like having the right products on hand can sometimes also help with any little discrepancies that you might feel. Oh, how come that happened to me that way? Well, sometimes it's just, I forgot to put starch my fabric first or something like that. And that can kind of help. But these are just tips and tricks. If you have any that you would like to share with us, you can definitely put them in the comments over at the YouTube channel, or you can join us over at the Sew a Story Facebook group, where we share all of our makes together, our Sew a Story makes. You can share your makes, you can share your fabric pulls, you can share your experience with some of these tips and tricks. And I can't wait to see what you create. So thank you so much for being here. It is a blessing to have you here. I hope you have a lovely December. Again, if you aren't already, I'd highly suggest you join the Pattern Club now. In the new year, we are moving the site over to a different platform, which is more robust, and there's going to be more wonderful things happening there. But if you come in now, you will be locked in at this price, which is so it's a steal, really. So grab one for yourself, grab a membership spot for yourself, and grab one maybe for your friend for Christmas or the holiday season. And I'll see you over on the inside as well. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, have a lovely sewing day. Bye for now.